Everybody come and see. I say come and hear. I don't carry and come. Better information, superb advertisement. We no get the rifle. Oh, to get update and get informed. Oh, come to Celestial Half Hour. Celestial Half Hour TV. Now we be the best information carrier.
We have to use PMCs. That is fine. They've already taken 3 local governments right now. So what do? I think the best thing we have to do is to listen to the governor, and at least the Nigerian military have to move in and help him. If we have to use PMCs, that is fine, as long as the job is done. I know there is a national pride in not employing PMCs, but I think that's what we have to do, because you allow them and they continue taking local governments and putting their flag in the different local governments is just not acceptable.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. This is an important security report and security situation in Nigeria as of today, Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. Now, to the best of my knowledge, the only countries known for manufacturing the air defense system or area defense system are the United States of America, Russia, India, France, Israel, Italy, United Kingdom, China, and Iran. These are the people known for manufacturing the air defense system. Now, if any other countries acquire this air defense system, it's always in the news. It is a surprising thing to know that the Boko Haram terrorists in Nigeria, in collaboration with ISWAP, have acquired an air defense system. For what? Now, this is a rumor. What we wish is that let this not be true, because the information about Boko Haram in northern Nigeria, we are only getting the concrete information now from Niger Republic and the Chad. These are the only places we are getting the direct information. I don't really know. We lack information about what is going on in Nigeria here. Then, the governor of Borno State. Borno is a Boko Haram ravaged state and Boko Haram controlled state in Nigeria. Now, the governor of that state made an open confession 2 days ago that the state is under siege, that they are losing ground to Boko Haram. You are going to watch him speak in this video. But let us understand this. Recently, Borno State was raided by Boko Haram. They did not tell us that Boko Haram used military helicopter to raid Borno State. Who gave them the military helicopter? These are the important issues that we are asking. Anyway, take your time. Let's take this video one after the other. Listen to this report first.
Acts by Boko Haram, especially targeting military formations, has given the authorities in Nigeria's northeast Borno State some serious cause for worry. The insurgents have carried out deadly raids on a number of military bases in recent weeks, destroying or looting military equipment in the process. Concerned by the resurgence, the state governor called an emergency security meeting to review the situation, and he didn't hold back.
It seems we are losing ground. There's urgent need for aggressive military action and actionable intelligence to counter the insurgency. The recent attacks on Sabongari, Dambwa, Wulgo, Baga, and Momono point to the need to up our ante in confronting the Boko Haram insurgency decisively and swiftly. We should not grant breathing space to the Boko Haram to regroup, rearm, and carry out attacks on our territory.
Until recently, it had been relatively quiet in Borno State, the heartland of Boko Haram. The military had pushed back the insurgents and degraded their capacity to carry out attacks. But security experts say recent attacks on military targets indicate the group may have successfully regrouped.
They've already taken 3 local governments right now. So what do? I think the best thing we have to do is to listen to the governor, and at least the Nigerian military have to move in and help him. If we have to use PMCs, that is fine, as long as the job is done. I know there is a national pride in not employing PMCs, but I think that's what we have to do, because you allow them and they continue taking local governments and putting their flag in the different local governments is just not acceptable.
However, Despite the recent setback, the military says it's on top of the situation and that the counter-terrorism operations against the insurgents are yielding results.
On 27th and 29th March 2025, scores of terrorists comprising adult males, adult females, and some children surrendered to troops within the theaters of operation following the ongoing onslaught on them by our gallant troops. Equally, between 27th March to 1st April, troops in conjunction with hybrid forces conducted offensive operations, including fighting patrols, raids, and clearance operations in Bama, Goza, Kaga, and Konduga local government areas of Borno State. During the operations, some terrorists were neutralized and others apprehended.
The governor of Borno State, while commending the efforts of the military, says more still needs to be done in the face of the recent escalation.
Right now, we don't have single attack helicopter in Borno State. These attack helicopters were taken away from Borno State to the southwestern, northwestern states. We are not saying no, while trying to maintain law and order in northwestern state. They should also not be unmindful of the northeastern state.
The Borno State government has been carrying out a massive resettlement program of displaced persons. It now fears that if the resurgence in Boko Haram attacks isn't quickly curtailed, it could seriously disrupt that resettlement initiative and further compound the humanitarian situation in the region.
Meanwhile, in Benue State, the middle belt of Nigeria, the lawmaker representing one of the insecurity-ravaged constituencies has come out to tell us that the Fulani terrorists send them a message that they should prepare for war. These people have been on war with these invaders, so sending another message to them that they should prepare for war, it means that there is a serious escalation and tension and ethnic cleansing that is much awaiting. Now, the news is not a new thing. Even in Plateau State, on the Christmas Eve of 2023, they sent a message that they are coming, and they came. They killed almost 200 persons. Nobody stops them. So the level of collusion with the people in power and the security operatives is what troubles people. Take a listen to what he said.
The community has witnessed a surge in headers attacking the farmers. And so yesterday was the climax. But before that happened, some particular fellow by the name Ahmed Bashir had threatened on his social Facebook handle that his Akwa enemies should be prepared for war. And so essentially what we have in Benue, what we have in Utbo going on right now is war. It's annexation, is an attempt to take over the lands of our people because these people come and graze around, and they also rustle cattle of other Fulani men and Fulani headers in Utbo. And I've had that report from credible Fulani people who live in Utbo, who have been doing their businesses, that there are these criminal elements of Fulani headers who come in, rustle their cows, and then create crisis around Utbo and giving them also bad name. So this is not a question of whether we're suspecting or is a claim. This is facts from even the Fulani who have told us where they're coming from. They're coming from flanks from Nasarawa and the rest of it. So clearly Benue is at war. The headers are at war with Benue. They are coming to take our lands. They are coming to kill people, drive people from their farmlands and uproot our crops and feed it to their cattle.
Meanwhile, one of the senators representing Abia State in Nigeria, Senator Enyinanyi Abaribe, has come out to explain on a national television how these people came into Nigeria, that these people were brought in by Nigerian politicians to help them to rig election, to commit ethnic cleansing, to help them, carry out so many things that they themselves want to do, okay? And he mentioned names, okay? And among these people, you can also see one of the governors now in Bauchi, the governor of Bauchi, to be precise, Banda Mohammed, saying that they invited Fulanis from across the world to come to Nigeria. These people don't have home. Their plan is to Islamize Nigeria. Their plan is to make sure they push people out of their ancestral homes. Their plan is pure. push people out of their ancestral home, go to the farms, kill people, take away their farms, chase them away, let them pay tax to you, you collect ransom, you buy gun, continue to fight the nation, so that at the end, you will take hold of the nation and do with it what you want to do. This is their sole aim. Now, a lot of people are not asking questions like, what is the purpose of Boko Haram, ISWAP, Lakurawa terrorists, or these Fulani terrorists? It is the same aim. Their aim is the domination, they want the dominance of Islam, Sharia, in the whole country. They said like Boko Haram means Western education is a sin. They want Islamic education to be inculcated on Nigerians. That is their mission. Islamic State, province of West Africa, you know their mission. ISIS is working with them. ISIS sponsors them from Iran. Okay? Now, their mission is to make sure that the whole West Africa will turn to Islamic states. So it will become a province and their caliphate. So these are not a new thing. You can go and fact check everything I'm saying about this. And so if we do not take up arms and defend ourselves, okay? I didn't say people should not do whatever they like, okay? If you want to live your life for people to mess it up, you are allowed to live it, okay? But as far as I'm concerned, everybody must be able to take up arms and defend themselves. You have a right to live. And the right to live, I don't think anybody has a right to take it away from you. But let it be known to the whole world that the officials of the government in Nigeria are colluding with these people. The security agencies are colluding with them.
In trying to remove Jonathan, there were stateless persons that were from the Sahel region that were imported into Nigeria, and a former chairman of PDP made that statement. I'm not the person that made it.
But that importation is a fact, is it?
That importation is a fact. What has happened in Nigeria is that most of the time when something comes up today, we never sit back and say, how did we get to this point? We got to this point by virtue of the fact of the effort to remove President Jonathan. There had always been this herder-farmer clash, but it never got to this point where whole communities were exterminated so that some people will be roaming freely within their land, which is what happens in Plateau and in Benue State.
I think Benue is the worst hit.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because most of the banks of the Benue is lush because it's watered by the Benue River. And so these people came and they want. And who are these people? And that's a question that we have not dealt with. The bill first said that we have to confine these people to the ranches within their states of origin. And somebody woke up and said, no, every Nigerian has a right to go around. There's no such thing like a state of origin. Why will anybody make that statement? Reason is that in trying to remove Jonathan, there were stateless persons that were from the Sahel region that were imported into Nigeria, and a former chairman of PDP made that statement. I'm not the person that made it.
But that importation is a fact, is it?
That importation is a fact. If you ask any Nigerian Fulani, he will tell you that there's something called the Bororo Fulani. And that Bororo Fulani are these imported ones. They don't own land. Therefore, what they want to do is to settle in Nigeria. They were given free passage, let me just say it, by the Buhari regime. And we were shouting at that time, don't bring people into Nigeria who are not Nigerians. They won't have sympathy. They won't know what has happened. All they want to do is displace you, take over your place, and roam freely within that place.
But there were cattle herders as well.
They were, but the Nigerian cattle herders were not carrying AK-47 rifles and other.
So these guys brought their guns.
So these guys brought their guns with them. First thing they did was to start to rustle the cattle belonging to Nigerians. And so a Nigerian herder who loses his cattle has nowhere else to go. He becomes part of them because he is given, okay, you either join us or you got nothing. And some of them, of course, joined. And so we have this complicated problem. And this complicated problem is what we want to solve by saying, can we confine you to a particular place? If you have, okay, what you want to do is to move your cattle from where there is grass to another place where there is grass, and you can roam around with them. And I also pointed out on the floor of the Senate that Governor Ganduje at a particular time said, my state, Kano, has more than enough land for all the herders in Nigeria to go around with it.
Many Nigerians have reacted to the collapse of the digital investment platform, CBEX, which allegedly resulted in investors losing over 1.3 trillion naira. Well, according to reports, the platform became inaccessible after users experienced withdrawal failures and sudden account balance depletion. The incident has sparked widespread reactions on social media, with users expressing frustration and concern. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from the real Aduke. They wrote, I lost $1,000. That was my bridal savings. I don't even know how to tell my fiance. I feel numb. Another person, Chinaye Nduka, wrote on Facebook, my brother invested his school fees, and now he can't even face my parents. God, this country keeps dealing with us. Well, David Ayo wrote, I warned my church WhatsApp group, but they mocked me. Now, the same people are tagging me to help them recover their money. How? Bao? I mean, I was very sad. Really, really sad reading some of these comments.
Sad.
But you know, here is Nike, who invested her life savings in CBEX with hopes that she will quit her job and open her dream business after CBEX makes her a multi-billionaire overnight. Well, she posted this video on TikTok with the caption on the video saying, me thinking that I'm going to resign from my 8 to 6 work soon and start up my business. And CBEX puts me back to square one. My God, where do I start from? Will I ever make it in this life like this? I mean, it wasn't just this lady, Nike, that we saw. We also saw some videos, although unverified, of people trying or attempting to commit suicide. It was quite horrific seeing those videos and comments online. This is not the first time we're seeing this sort of Ponzi scheme, but I'd also like to show this video before we discuss. Here's a video showing a group of angry investors who stormed the CBEX office located in the Okeado area of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, on Monday in protest, looting furniture and other items after the digital trading platform reportedly crashed.
This is their office. You want to see back? Want to for Kini ST team, abi? CBEX is all good.
All my friends' money, all the money, everything for Libya. I come back. My neighbor told me, if the program on grant now, if you do it, you go help me. Then I should go and find the money. Small money I bring for Libya. I join. I should do it. I don't want to do it. Yeah, the money is there. The labor, he collect the money. I see the money. My labor, he collect. He said I should join it. If you join it, if you do the money, it will times 2.
This was so sad. So sad. This woman is from Liberia. Will this hit home?
This hit home.
And we have a camera guy here saying his money was sorry.
Because I know people.
In this office.
They say there's several people here.
But Rufa, you say you've never heard of CBEX
I've
before.
never heard of it in my life.
What is this now?
In fact,
I know that, let me just say that. I know that the Central Bank of Nigeria had previously warned against investing in the Ponzi schemes like CBEX that promise unrealistic returns. Despite these warnings, many individuals invested in the platform. And we need to talk about the Security Exchange Group. What are they doing to protect Nigerian investors in this sort of, horrific scheme? Rufai.
Sorry. I commiserate with all the CBEXians that their money is stuck there. Right. But I remember I was still on radio when MMM happened. And I remember my instructive words. And see, we would like to also beg the religious community, especially churches. I know you want to empower your brother in Christ. Do not bring them into things like this that you're not sure of. Because you see, like I said, the name Ponzi scheme starts from Charles Ponzi. What they do is that they will actually make you feel that you are looking good. They might have 1 or 2 payments for you until they have you locked in, they get a certain amount, and they move out. Till tomorrow, they've not been able to get those behind MMM.
It's not just MMM, there's a bunch of them. There's also Ultimate Cycler in 2016, Get Help Worldwide, 2016, crowd raising. I mean, this
we
is
can
not
even go back to the days of Wonder Banks.
All the way to 2016.
So, but the truth is, please, we would like to beg those that are involved. Be careful. We would like to beg SEC. Also, try as much as possible to research these things going on. Put warning alerts and clap them. But even if you put warning alert, people will still do it. Because when people are hooked on to the greed, then definitely they want to make a quick buck. Things like this always thrives where the economy is bad. We should also move one step further to try as much as possible to break into the ranks of these people. Who are they? The offices now that you are breaking into, nothing is there. I don't support vandalism, I must have to say that. Okay. The offices they are going to there's nobody there. So who are they? What's the credible source you can use to hold them?
This is it.
So these are the questions we should be able to ask. But people should also beware.
Yes.
I just hope that salaries are not involved.
You mean some companies that are owing people salary? Yeah. How are they going to do this now?
So,
this is serious. Look at this woman from Liberia.
That's a very painful thing.
Yes, really.
But we need to be careful.
Absolutely.
We need to be careful.
I know that the Punch newspaper, if you can pull that up today, I believe that they said that the Interpol is joining the EFCC in this 1.3 trillion naira CBEX probe, and that the EFCC is ready to crack down on other Ponzi scheme. There it is. That's the paper up there. And I know that the Securities Exchange Commission has reaffirmed its commitment to safeguarding investors' funds amid this growing Ponzi scheme saga. I don't know if that is enough. It's not promise and the assurances.
It's not enough. There's several things happening here. But the first thing I'd like to point out is that as far back as early 2024, Nigeria's SEC had actually issued a warning to say that there was a Hong Kong watchdog called the Securities and Futures Commission, had actually issued a warning to say, we've heard about CBEX who claim that they trade in Japan and Canada. We just like to let you know that it's false, it's not true. Did that information trickle down? Did SEC follow through by engaging the necessary authorities to find where the headquarters of this CBEX was here in Nigeria, who was operating it, and shut them down? Obviously they did not. So there's a lapse in the system there. What's the point of us having mechanisms of being able to report some of these quack businesses if there's no follow through afterwards? That's number one. That's on the side of the institution and the systems that are supposed to safeguard this. On the other side of it is just, OG, for me, this is always an expose about where we are with financial literacy. It's an expose because, especially when it comes so close to home, and you now see people, the people who work in our office are enlightened people. So at the end of the day, they appeal to this sense of miracle, if I may call it. This morning I was speaking to a director of news. I said, to me, it's the same as being lured into doing a ritual. Because how is it possible that you will do nothing and your money will just suddenly multiply by such a gross amount, But this appeals to something in people because everybody has aspiration, everybody is ambitious. But that's why financial literacy is extremely important, because if we get to a stage where there's a level of financial literacy where people are able able to ask the right questions where it concerns their money. Because in this, what sucks people in essence, what sucks people into a Ponzi scheme are the testimonies. The person who brings you in would have told you that I put my money in, I doubled it, it works, it's real. And that's the psychology of Ponzi schemes. So unfortunately, there isn't a financial literacy for people to know, because we already have what do you call it? There's a Yoruba word for it. When we give our money, I give money this month.
That's ajo.
Ajo. You know, so you know, there's already that culture that, okay, if I give somebody my money, I'll now get it back multiplied. But that financial literacy hasn't been created where we can decipher and say, because even with that ajo, they always warn about, there's a fake one as well.
Yeah.
That's going around on WhatsApp groups. But the financial literacy, so the SEC now has a big responsibility to go into the grassroots and start doing just basic financial literacy. Okay, if you hear of a CBEX, so this is where you go. Go to your nearest CBN or whoever you go to. Ask them, oh, please, have you heard of these people? You know, just very basic stuff. Those are the conversations I think we need to be having. Yeah, I mean, very sad. I'm sorry to all those. You know, I was saying it's school holidays now. Children are going back to school soon, so school fees. And please, though, if your parents give you your school fees, it's not investment money. No, if your parents give you school fees, please just go and pay your school fees. That's not the money you'll use to gamble.
Well, all right. Well, it's good that, you know, the police has shut down that CBEX office in Ibadan. I hope that they don't find a way to reinvent themselves and start another Ponzi scheme again.
They will do that, Ojo.
Something's got to give. That's why I highlighted this.
You'll see.
Something's got to give.
Everybody come and see. I say come and hear. I don't carry and come. Better information, superb advertisement. We no get the rifle. Oh, to get update and get informed. Oh, come to Celestia Half Hour. Celestia Half Hour TV. Now we be the best information carrier.